So today's topic is hydration, the underrated fat loss tool. And I want to talk to you about that. And I want you to be clear on the importance, because many people don't realize the importance of hydration. They just think, oh, I'll drink more water, it's good for my skin, it's good for this, good for that. And there's so much involved when it comes to, your hydration and why it's so beneficial for fat loss. And what people don't realize is that if you eat really well and you train properly, but you're extremely dehydrated, you are going to have the symptoms of not doing those things. So what do I mean by that? Like, if you are someone who eats the right amount of protein, you get the right amount of animal fats, you're having the right amount of carbohydrates, you're sleeping on time. When you don't do those things, you get symptoms like hunger, cravings, tiredness. And without the correct hydration, and if you're doing all those things correctly, you'll get symptoms of hunger, cravings, and tiredness. So then you think that, oh, I've drank enough water. I drink loads of water. I have a bottle on my desk all day. I guarantee many people say that. I've heard so many people say, I've got a bottle of water on my desk all day. Like, they sit like this, like, oh, I've got one of these on my desk all day, so I must be hydrated because I'm always drinking it. But you're taking a lot of the time when you watch people, they take little sips. And just to understand and combat this, all you need to do is say, well, have you measured the amount of water you drink? And a lot of the time it's a no. It's like, they'll say like, oh, no, I haven't actually. And then you'll realize that if you actually measure the amount of water you're drinking, you're not drinking enough. And what does enough look like? Well, enough looks like, for someone like me, so I'll give you my context. I live in Dubai. I train regularly, so probably 5 times a week, and I train hard. And I carry a good amount of muscle mass, and I am in the heat pretty often all day, and it's the middle of summer in Dubai. So a lot of people will either have a small amount of water and then add electrolytes and be like, oh no, I've added electrolytes. But the actual problem isn't the electrolytes a lot of the time, because electrolytes are, a lot of salt, maybe potassium in there, but you can get that through food. So if you're having the right amount of salts and things through your food, yes, added electrolytes are useful, but the biggest problem is the foundation of how much water you're actually drinking. And for me, around probably 4.5 litres of water in a day is enough, is what I should be drinking. If I drink less than that, I get quite dehydrated. I get really I'm definitely dehydrated. I get lots of symptoms. And I've seen people talk about like having, oh, you can drink too much water. And that is definitely true. But their circumstances are a lot different a lot of the time, right? They might be in a colder environment. They might not be moving as much as I do. And they might be in a situation where they're not in training as much, or even sweating as much. Some people sweat more than others. So you have to find out by trying different levels of water. It's probably the best way to do it. So how does that look? So let's say you are a woman, and you train 4 times a week, and you're just trying to lose body fat. If you try to just measure 3 litres of water in a day, you probably find yourself in a situation where you are feeling less hungry, less lethargic, and more focused. If you are following the foundations of nutrition and training correctly, of course, and sleep. If you're not, you're going to never ever find out the correct answer to anything, because it's all so confusing. You have to do logical studies or data analysis of, okay, I have slept properly, I've eaten properly, I've trained correctly, and I'm still feeling these symptoms. Well, the only thing that's left there is your water intake. If you drink all the water intake and you're still having all those symptoms, maybe you're not doing the nutrition training or lifestyle correctly. So it's either one or the other. And I've worked with thousands of people over the last decade, and I know that. I know that for sure, that you are, it is one of the other. And every single time it's either one of them. And it just stops so many problems with water. So with hydrating correctly. So suggestion-wise is get your 3 litres in if you're a woman. If you're a guy, go 4.5 litres. Listen, what's the worst that can happen? You pee too much, right? You at least there. If you do that for a period of time, like at least a week or so, you'll figure out if what the major problem is the water. Because a lot of people try and fix things that are not broken. They try and go, well, I'm feeling cravings, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like this, like that, and then they end up and then changing something in their nutrition when actually the underlying issue is just not enough hydration. So follow that, 3 litres for a woman as a minimum, and that would be 1.5 litres of water. So the tactic is to get the big bottles of water, 2 of those, make sure those are finished in the day. You have a measurable result. You can measure how much water you have drank. And then at that point, you're going to know if you need to go more or less. But if you just say, I'm drinking enough water, and you have nothing that's measurable on it, then you're never going to find the answer to your problem. So 3 litres for men, 4 to 4.5 3 litres for women, 4 to 4.5 for men. And do that for a couple of weeks, see how you feel. And from there, if you are not getting those symptoms, you've most likely hit the nail on the head. You've realized that actually it's purely hydration. I tell you something, I wake up every morning very hungry, but I'm not hungry. I'm just extremely dehydrated. I have got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I've done work. I have trained. I'm going to do more work. I'm making this video. I haven't eaten a single thing, but I've hydrated correctly. I probably drank about 2 litres of water already. And I don't feel hungry at all. I feel very clear in my mind. I feel very focused. And I don't have the biggest problem that most people have, which is, feeling always like they need to eat something or snack on something, which again is 2 things. It's either your nutrition is not right, you're on a calorie counting program, which is usually where people have super high cravings all the time. Nothing wrong with counting calories, but that's for a different video. Or as I said, they're massively dehydrated. So focus on that as a tool to fix it. See how you feel. Comment below or message me on Instagram at Carlo Melo Fitness. I would love to hear if that has helped you at all. And I can guarantee that'll probably fix the issue that you're going to have. If you hydrate, remember, if you hydrate correctly and you're still feeling like that, try and watch some of the previous videos on nutrition and follow those, because they'll really help you understand how to construct your nutrition better to combat the issue that you keep having over and over. And once you fix nutrition as a foundation, I promise you, your life will be so much better. You're not going to struggle anymore with these cravings or being controlled by food, because that is the biggest problem for people. They're controlled by food, they're controlled by how tired they are all the time, they're lethargic, and they just feel not that great. And when you fix the foundations, as opposed to taking paracetamol or going to the doctor, when you figure out it's either your food, your training, or your lifestyle, or hydration, or sleep, one of those things, once you try and fix these things, 99.99% of the time, the issue that you've currently had, if it's how you feel, if it's an illness or something, these things will go away. They'll be gone. But unless you try and trust and take action on this video, you're never going to know, and you maybe end up being one of those people that just goes and ignores it and goes, no, it's not that, you don't understand, this is an issue. Fix the foundation. If you do that and it's still a problem, then yes, go and try and fix it. But I promise you, if you go and try and fix something and it's your nutrition, your lifestyle, or whatever, the doctor is not going to tell you that, and you're going to end up in a very negative spiral, or a spiral that is not a place you do not want to go. Trust me. So do that first. Look at your health first, and then see if there's anything. If you need to fix it after that, then at least you have the foundation correct. So I hope that's helpful. Any questions, as always, please let me know. I'm always here to help, and I hope these videos are helpful. This is I'm doing 30 days of videos, so I'm just doing one every single day for 30 days. So you can look back at all my videos and take lots of different topics that we're covering, and any questions throughout that time, let me know. And if you ever want a topic covered, a specific topic, please let me know. I can always add it to the end of the 30 days because I've already got a plan, but I'm happy to add extra videos on top.